No,
there we are.
she's okay.
Oh, she just needs some rest, is what she said. So that's fine. PBR is already in the house, though. Pabst Blue Ribbon, Street Gang, whiskey shot ready. Bring on that Al Wlliamson and his freaky mushroom fetish. There we are. It's coming. Let me, oh, look at this. We're still sharing that screen. Look at that cover for Atlantean 3, folks. Isn't that great? That's all. We'll say more about that later, probably. Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. It's time for, finally, time for Sunday Funnies. If you were around for Comics by Night on Friday morning, we didn't make it. So sorry about that one. We'll make the next one. I've already got it programmed into wonderful StreamYard. I had some electrical storms here that knocked out my power off and on through that Thursday night, Friday morning. And then I went to go get into StreamYard and it wouldn't let me. And I'm on the Indie Comics Network StreamYard. So I had to contact the headquarters of world headquarters of Indie Comics Network and get the passcode clearance.
The world headquarters.
Nobody at the world headquarters of the Indie Comics Network is expected to be up at the time that we do Comics by Night. So
is it Mr. Waverly?
Mr. Waverly?
Yeah. He was the head of Uncle, wasn't he?
No, nobody at the headquarters is expected to be awake.
Yes. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition either. Here we go. There we are. All right, let's get this show on the road.
Ciao.
It's running here. Here we are. Here's the old. Sure. Come on in, folks. Glad you're here. Real glad you're with us today. We got some great Star Wars to continue looking at. We have actually hit volume 2 of this wonderful 3-book set, hardbound Russ Cockrum editions of the Star Wars comic strip by the great Archie Goodwin and Al Wlliamson, who PBR has already said he has his whiskey shots ready every time he sees a mushroom. He's taking one. Appreciate you being out there. PBR, the chat is open as soon as I get to it here. There we are. Chat is open, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Glad PBR is here. We see more of you out there. Hit that like button if you can, even if you can't stay for the whole show. Any type of interaction you have with this program just helps our recommendations and helps us get out in front of more noses. It's not like we're getting paid for this. We just want to be enjoyed. That's all. Here we are.
Getting paid.
I got to set up a tip box or something here pretty soon and just start taking tips. Maybe, I don't know.
I'll give you a tip.
I'm sure you would. Comics by Night. No, not Comics by Night. Sunday Funnies, folks. Sunday, the 16th of May, 2025. Great Star Wars stuff. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. Arrow Comics. The latest stuff from me is writing the Atlantean that Russ Leach is currently drawing. Working on volume 3, I should say, as we speak. We have The Shadow Kingdom out. That's an adaptation of the great Robert E. Howard story. And then we took that story and spun those characters and situations off into the Atlantean, of which there are 2 issues currently available. The second volume should be being fulfilled as we speak. You should be getting it in the mail anytime. It's out and it's beautiful, and we're incredibly proud of it. Had a little help from Charles Santino, who's an infrequent guest here on the show, and it just turned out real well. Volume 3 is turning out even better. So great stuff, folks, and we hope you enjoy it, and we hope you let us know what you think about it too. Joining us this morning, Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm allegedly a writer, artist, and publisher.
Allegedly.
Yeah. People think I just copy everything and don't do anything myself.
Oh, is that what
Awful,
it is?
awful. Aren't people awful?
Have to stay legal.
People are awful.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, they are awful.
This is my book about my visit to see Jack Kirby, the great Jack King Kirby who created everything except life. This is my book, my character Hatch. This Hatch annotated. You can get this book on Fund My Comic right now, and it has lots of unpublished and published work with my character, full colour paintings and stuff like that. And occasionally, but I don't think I'm going to be doing it anymore, I publish Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page magazine about comics with interviews and articles and all kinds of good stuff. But everything of mine is available on Amazon, or New Haven Press, or Google it, or get in touch with me and we can sort something out.
You should kick one more of those out.
Yeah, well, we've got, maybe. Got a few problems going on, but not with me, but...
Getting stuff
maybe,
in? Yeah.
No, nothing to do with that.
Do it.
Can't say.
Should do a story for it. But yeah, we'll talk off the air.
Yep.
Also joining us today, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, please introduce yourself.
Hey, my name's Russ Leach. I'm the artist on the Atlantean, comic book artist from the UK. Done some stuff, bit of Batman, bit of Marvel, bit of Doctor Who, been around. But at the moment, focusing on this guy, this thing that I'm so very, very happy with. It's come out really nice. The insides,
Look at that.
lovely.
Beautiful black and white.
Lovely black and white stuff here. Look at that. That's a nice page. Okay.
There we are.
So I'm doing some production now on issue 3. So if you want to find out more about that, maybe about the stuff that I've done in the past or just the Atlantean and the Shadow Kingdom, check out russleach.com and go and sign up for the email list there. You can also follow me on X or come find me on Facebook or Instagram. It's always good. This is going on. But find out what's happening and where you can grab hold of these books, because they will be going to, or the first one is already on, and the Shadow Kingdom is already on places like Amazon. Issue 2 will be going there as soon as everybody who crowdfunded us, backed us. They get their copies first, and then the slightly edited copy goes out to retail. So everyone who backs us and starts early, they get their special version of the book. It's not a big change, but it just means that you got the first print run. So the second print run goes out to retail probably in June. I would imagine everyone will have got their books by then. So you'll be able to, if you didn't get hold of it through the crowdfunder, you'll be able to get hold of it from Amazon or Barnes & Noble or direct from Critical Blast website. And to find out when all that goes on, when that happens, the best thing to do is to sign up for the email list, and that's over at russleach.com.
Yes. You said finally waking up. There we are.
Woo!
Just not with it yet. Good morning, folks. Sorry. My fault. Should have adjusted this while everybody else was talking. Let's go a little higher. Star Wars, folks, the comic strip that went through the newspapers. Hundreds of newspapers carried this back in the early 80s. Stories take place between episode 4 and 5. Oh, come on. There we are.
That's it.
I think we're good.
What a great gig to get.
Yeah. Oh, isn't it? Yeah.
Must have given a couple of quid over the odds.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I can imagine doing this. You might get the call. I'm thinking that Archie Goodwin might have rang Al Wlliamson and said, "How do you fancy?"
Yeah.
Well, I'll see if I can fit it in.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, imagine that.
But you see, that was the way things were. You could make money out of it back then.
Yeah.
It was good money too, especially
good
in
money.
I imagine, was this published by Marvel?
This was syndicated through the newspapers.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, yeah, of course, yeah.
Even more
Yeah.
money.
I'm going to say, I wonder if that would be an interesting story to see who contacted who, and you know, did Archie Goodwin say to Al Wlliamson, knock up some, you know, preliminaries, and we'll show George Lucas, blah blah blah. So I mean, there must have been a conversation somewhere with someone.
Well, the strip had been coming out for a year or two, I believe, with Russ Manning doing the artwork.
Right.
Wlliamson had other commitments at the time. He was asked to come in at the very start, and he had to turn it down for, I think it was Secret Agent X9 or Rip Kirby, one of the two that he was working on.
Could you imagine
And-
that? Imagine working on that and then somebody ring you up about this and you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Especially at that time, you know, when it was huge, wasn't it?
Russ Manning got very ill during this time, and so they had to pass it to another artist. I think I'm not sure if Ernie Chua came in between for a little bit. I mean, a very short period, or if Chua come in after Wlliamson. But Chua also worked on this strip. But Goodwin, I think, wrote the entire run, if I'm not mistaken. So when Manning got sick, they fell back on their original, and luckily he was available. You know, when they went back to him a second time.
Didn't Archie Goodwin come up with Epic?
No, that was he was part of it. He was a big part of it, but I think Rick Marshall was the editor on Epic to start with.
Right. Okay.
Rick was doing Epic Comics at that point and started Epic Illustrated.
I think we should do something like that, but that's just me.
Goodwin came in not too long after that.
What, Glenn?
I think we should do something like Epic and introduce the same kind of format like Metal Verlon with, you know, 4 or 6 page strips, magazine like that. I think the market's wide open for it.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
The big problem right now is marketing, though. That's the huge thing.
Yeah.
It's getting it out in front of enough people's noses. That's the difficult part of it right now. If that problem was solved, we can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I looked into marketing, and it's you know, like online marketing is a nightmare because the way that it does it is it says, all right, well, okay, you can market to 1,000 people for £5 or whatever, and you go, oh, that's great. No, you can only market to 1,000 people in a postcode or a zip code.
Mm-hmm.
You can't market to everybody. So in order for you to market to the whole world, it probably costs you millions and millions of pounds.
That's the way it's designed, isn't it?
Yeah. So the little guy can't get their product out. You don't have the money. You don't have the backup to say, look at this book.
Yeah.
If you did have the backup to say, look at this book, you could potentially do well because people might like it. But you can't get to that point because it's set up for big corporates. Everything's set up for corporates.
Yeah, it's set up.
Sorry, go on.
I'm going to say it's set up for the sure thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Or it's like I was looking at Yale and that, and it's like they were saying, okay, well, you know, you can do this, you can do that. If you want to sell your book directly on Amazon, directly on Google, like at the top of the links, everything, that's like £600 a month.
Yeah.
Before you go anywhere, and even then, that's restricted geographically. That's the point, is all of these things are restricted geographically. And it's like, I don't want to be restricted geographically.
Yeah.
The internet, the idea of the internet was that everybody could communicate, but it's being chopped up. It's being chopped up by people like Google and marketeers into tinier and tinier chunks so that you can't say, you know, get your idea out there. Or it's very difficult to anyway.
It's like I said to you, when I was putting Crikey into the mainstream, the biggest outlet wanted 10,000 quid just for me to send some boxes through the door.
Yeah.
And that didn't guarantee that the people working there would put them on the shelf.
Right.
No, it just meant that it would sit there. Yeah. No.
10,000 quid.
Awful. So it's really difficult. Really, really difficult.
Yeah. I've been looking for other ways of distributing for a while now, keeping our eyes open for any kind of new opportunity. Marvy in the house says greetings. It's Marv. PBR says, a question a week ago, a member that was talking about where she had gotten a signed hardback Blueberry edition. Do you remember the shop name where they had gotten it? I don't remember a Blueberry edition being signed.
No.
I'd have loved to have seen that.
Wow.
Those have got to be, well, they're extremely rare. Marv says, Glenn, I wasn't able to find your DVD Jack Kirby interview on Amazon. Do you still have some, and will you put them on Amazon?
Yes, and yes.
Good answer.
We'll keep you apprised, Marvy, as soon as
I'll get in touch with you, Marv.
Glenn checks into it. He'll let you know for sure.
We'll sort something out.
Yeah.
Like that answer.
This is a hardback reprint of the daily comic strips. This was printed in 91, but the actual strips are from, I believe they're from the late 80s.
Right. Can't see that.
Can't read it. I can't read it, and I almost put my nose right down on it.
Well, the copyright 1991 Lucasfilm, all limited, all rights reserved.
No, on the strip.
What? Which bit?
Where he's pointing.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, between the periods chronicled in Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Yeah, but the copyright thing in the middle.
Oh God, that thing.
There's no date on it. Yeah.
Get your glasses over the camera.
Anyway, it's 40 years old.
There you go. That worked.
That doesn't work very well, though, does it?
Oh.
It works, but not enough to read it.
No,
there's not a date. There's not a date on it anyway. But whatever it is,
kind of doesn't work.
It is dated 1/4, so it's the start of the year, whatever year it is.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So it's 1/4, 1/5, 1/6. Yeah.
Nice.
The tiers here were printed daily in the newspaper. They're collected here in 3 segments per page, plus the Sunday page, which is here.
Look at that. Look at the water.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at the work put into that. Good God.
Right during the prime period for Star Wars. All of your favorites are here. Yeah.
They had that's the whole point, is that the industry is just completely decimated.
Yeah.
You had studios where people would go to train. They'd kind of be a background artist or whatever, or they'd be a junior and they'd fill in, or just like that mentorship, the production aspect of it, it's all gone, all of it.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Well, the whole art form is in disarray, I think, temporarily, as we work out our marketing and visual glitches. And basically fight to stay alive. The adventure strip in the newspapers is just about gone.
Yeah. The newspapers are gone. Oh, no. Newspapers are just
most
about
of the
gone.
newspapers are gone. Yep.
Yeah.
Dick Tracy, Prince Valiant is still there. Flash Gordon is literally a joke of itself. They restarted that a couple years ago with some cartoonist on there instead of somebody treating the property with any type of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been cringy, to put it nicely. That water panel is so freaking cool to look at, with the ship flying over. A true masterpiece. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think it's great the way that was Wednesday's strip, that one panel, wouldn't it be? With the title on it, and that would be it. Do you understand what I mean?
What, that one panel with the water in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the Sunday panel, but if he'd have done that, but
of course, yeah.
But the fact is look at the amount of effort he's put into that.
Oh yeah,
he could have easily just done some wiggly waves.
Oh, look at this space here.
Yeah.
This is all one day's worth of strip right there.
Your point still stands, Glenn. I mean, it's still,
beautiful
the
work.
hair on Chewbacca there as well.
Yeah. I think it's great the way that if you look at the left-hand page, second panel, where they're talking, where the Luke, Leia, and Han Solo are talking, they don't necessarily look like the actors, but you know who they are.
Yeah, it's close enough. Yeah,
exactly
Look
right.
at that. They did this something that even Disney couldn't do. Put all three of them in a panel at once.
There you go. Yep.
It's not hard, guys. It really wasn't. Well, it is now. They're dead, but
Leo Kaiser's in the house. Well, Wlliamson, absolute master draftsman. Completely agree with guys. The craft of comic book storytelling is no more. Too many comic artists nowadays don't know how to convey a story. Too true.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's they focus too much on the illustration aspect and not enough on telling stories.
Just like the writing pays too much
you see it all the time.
Propaganda than the plot. Yeah.
And this is not a it's not putting down the abilities of those artists as far as them being artists is concerned, not in any way, shape, or form. I know that there are many, many better artists than I, but I focus on the storytelling. Just you're looking at Al Wlliamson, who was not only a fantastic storyteller but also an absolutely fabulous artist. And when you put those two things together, they create beauty.
Yeah.
And at this point, he had 35, 40 years worth of experience under his belt.
Oh, and you can see it oozing out of the panels. Yeah.
Yep. We've seen some of his earlier work on weird science books that we're looking through right now on Friday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic stuff. The next Sunday
snakes. There's more snakes than there are mushrooms.
I think the snakes are on mushrooms. they've got the same sort of skin, the blobby skin.
They're just not in the jungle at the moment.
Yeah, look at that water on the left. Wow.
Yeah, just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm loving that top and glove combination on that woman there. You'd never have actually got that in Star Wars, I don't think. It's a little bit too revealing. And that creature in the middle panel on the top row, that's cracking.
Yeah,
he's been eating the mushrooms as well.
It's turning into a mushroom, isn't he?
He's got them spots. Yeah,
it's got them spots.
They're barge pole marks where the people push him away.
Yeah, it's like, go away.
I tell you what I do like. I noticed before the way he's made the landing structure like an aircraft carrier. Because at first I thought it was an aircraft carrier. You know, the conning tower and everything. And
yeah.
It looks like an aircraft carrier. It's really clever.
Mm-hmm. Top designs by the top in the field at the time. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, lots of shadows on this one. It must have been getting a bit sticky with the schedule.
They're inside.
Yeah. Is that guy with the hood, is that Lettertone?
Looks like it. Looks like there's kind of interference.
Yeah, it's like a bubble.
Yeah.
Circular set there. It's not really set to the pattern of the robe. I think it's just laid in there.
I think I said last week I've got a sheet of that kind of squiggly Lettertone.
Yeah.
From 40 odd years ago. And I don't know where it is, but I'll try and dig it out. And I'm going to see if I can, if it's still workable, and I'll put it on something. You'll see what it looks like.
This Sunday page just looks more and more like Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Down the bottom right, it's like it's just getting more and more like Flash Gordon. The Art Nouveau windows there, and then Luke looking very Garth like.
Mm-hmm.
But all very slick and
little fish,
beautiful.
Yeah. No mushrooms though; those are not mushrooms. PBR. Sorry, those are bubbles.
Oh, so that's an undersea city that they didn't copy at all in the prequels.
It's got a copyright in 1982 on it.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
So that's about 30 years after his EC work.
Right.
Still incredible.
That guy, just before you turn over, where the girl's reclining, look at the guy in the shadow at the back. He looks like Ming, doesn't he, coming through? You know, we were saying about Flash Gordon and all that. Is it Ming, as he called it?
Ming,
looks
the
like,
Merciless.
yeah, it looks like him coming through there.
It's like she's got a little pet chihuahua there, too.
No, it's a pet mushroom head dog.
That's what it is. That's only a half a shot, PBR, just if you're keeping track.
Shroom dog.
Shroom dog. That's not Tanith, is it? No, she's older than that. Than Tanith is. They left her behind already. To somebody else.
Look at those two in that bath together.
These two.
At the top, yeah, the next page. Look at that. Brilliant. Lubrication bath. Nothing could spoil my containment now.
Eat up a wheat. Sitting idle make you uneasy. Nonsense. Lubrication bath is one of life's great luxuries. Nothing could spoil my contentment now. Yeah.
What's the guy called who plays that? What's that robot called? Is that 3PO?
C3PO?
Yeah. Did he? I'm sure I read somewhere how the guy who plays him, the actor, how he got the part and what happened.
I don't remember that story.
Right. Well, I'll tell you. They were shooting. Is it in Tunisia? And they were doing some screen tests or something. And apparently, if I remember right, Lucas wasn't sure about the guy. He's an English guy, isn't he? The guy who plays 3PO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they had, that part where they're stranded and they have that argument and he walks off because he wants to go the other way. Well, he follows him and he called for that. And what the guy did, he kicked him. He kicked the little one.
Yeah.
And which he does in the film, but that wasn't in the script.
Ah, right. Okay.
And he got the part because of that. Because he ad-libbed and he showed his frustration and kicked it. And he wasn't supposed to. He wasn't told to kick it. He just did. And he got the part for that. I'm sure I read that somewhere.
That's funny. Marvy says, I'm taking too long in finishing my graphic novel, but I've been focusing on trying to get the art as good as the story. I want to take my time and not rush it. Quality above anything, anytime else this time. Yep, anything else. Absolutely, Marvy. Agree. Seemed to like that pattern of spots for the mushroom and snakes. Yep, made it look alien to him. Mushroom head dog does not count. Gotten them strict rules on what is or what is not a mushroom. Last week, I got way too lubricated. Had your own little lubrication bath.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't get too lubricated. Oh, look at that. Spend a little time figuring out the shadows on that one.
Wow.
Wonder if he went through and just put like X's on everything and passed it to an apprentice. Black space filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think it would make sense, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you're doing this at speed and you have a studio.
If he was Kirby, he'd have his wife doing it. I really don't like putting those X's on. I never do it.
Yeah.
When I was doing Idiom, I did it and I left one out and there's a big X in the hole. so since then, no. I'm going to.
I do know what you mean. I don't like leaving them either, but sometimes it just comes down to time.
Well, I put I put a proposal, an inking set of inking samples together for a publisher one time. I just put the X's in. I didn't realize what it was there for. I just thought it was part of the guy's suit. Anyway, all line work back here. Back behind here, that's all done by hand. Beautiful stuff here as well. All that whole gray tone back here is all line work. That's a zipper tone here, though. And here. Yeah, somebody had fun for a couple hours.
Yeah, I was just thinking that if that was me, I wouldn't leave that to someone. I think if I wanted that effect, I think I'd have to do it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd trust anybody to do that.
you'd have to know your apprentice that well to have enough faith that he would do it right. He or she would do it right.
Or at least you'd have to draw it.
Yeah. Leo says, love that naturalistic creases on Luke and Han's pockets. Yeah. It's all the little details. All the little details matter, adding to the realism, which is, kind of odd to say in a Star Wars comic strip. There you go. But yeah, just beautiful work. That comes from many decades of experience because Wlliamson's coming off of Secret Agent X9 and Rip Kirby, and both of those are very suburban comic strips, very much like Modesty Blaze.
Mm-hmm. He could have drawn Modesty Blaze with these people, couldn't he? This style.
Yeah, I think he could have, yep.
Would have been superb.
Would have fit right in. There was a whole era there of strip artists that were doing just super top-notch work, though, like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much the end of that era here. It's great squid.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Zip back here. It's beautifully done. Look at that. This is all line work back here, though, for the undersea. Look at that squid. It's the whole daily right there.
His figure work is what I would call almost like an advertising style.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yep.
Especially with the hair.
Yeah. Right in that 50s, 60s period.
Yeah.
Absolutely. PBR says that space squirrel is so stunning. Each panel of it is better than the last. Oh, space squid. Sorry, I said squirrel. Didn't mean to. Yeah, it is. It's amazing. PBR. The space squirrel comes later. Yeah. Look at that.
Wow, look at him swimming there. Looks like he's really being supported by that pressure, doesn't he? Like when he's swimming. Fantastic. Like he's weightless,
Yeah. Line work all back behind this. Fantastically done.
Demon squid. I know it's a squid, but it looks like a spider as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, with the way he works the tentacles, absolutely.
Yeah. So this story is after Star Wars, but before
Empire. Yeah.
Before Empire. Right.
All of these stories take place in that pocket.
Right. They don't point to Empire though, do they?
No.
It's not as if like Archie Goodwin knew what was going to happen in Empire, so he could write this towards it.
No.
Right.
But there was a huge gap between movies anyway, after the
was it 4 years?
Ceremony.
3
years?
years? Was it?
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
Same thing with between Empire and Jedi. There was 3 years.
Yeah. But think about it, before Han Solo made Return of the Jedi, he'd made Blade Runner and Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And anything else that he might have done?
A couple other odd movies, Hanover Street. And
Yeah, that was the war one, wasn't it? Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah. Was another one he did, I think. No, Witness came later. Witness came after Jedi.
Witness was 85.
Yeah. That would have been a couple of years after Jedi.
Yeah.
Another great squid. Fish. Sticks right out.
Look at that ray gun thing. It's like a what's it called? We just mentioned him before. The strip he does. I can't remember what it is.
Who? C-3PO?
No. The guy. Sorry, the guy there with the ray gun thing with pointed ears.
He looks a lot like Chameleon Boy to me, but that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just his ears.
His ears are freaking me out.
Think how he feels. He's got to wear them.
I think he's in the strip for a while. I remember him being in there originally.
I just get heavy Ming the Merciless vibes from him.
Yeah. Marv says it's criminal to some of those detailed panels are so tiny. They should have been at least 2 times bigger. Yeah, I know, Marv, but that's the way that they're printing them. Actually, when they were printed in the newspaper, they weren't nearly this big either. They were even smaller than that. And Leo says, I remember Al's amazing work on the Blade Runner adaptation for Marvel. I got to dig that up. His style was perfect for the noir setting with his deft use of light and shadows. I'm pretty sure I've got that around here, magazine form. Like to dig that up. And there was another adaptation. Oh, and I don't remember which one it was now. Oh, Outland. Outland I want to find by Steranko.
Yeah, I've got that
in English.
In French, yeah. French or Dutch, I can't remember.
I'll run across that in English eventually. That and Chandler. I'd like to get a better, bigger version of Steranko's. It's a hard-boiled detective book that he did that was released in digest size that Steranko did. It's just amazing. And I know that I think it's Byron Prius released it in a larger format later. Got to get one of those if I ever find it. Just to have that artwork. It's a gun. Nice little R2. It's a lot of detail sitting there in that wall.
Yeah. And then none next to it in the shadow. It's like he used all the time doing the rendering on the wall.
Me too. Yep. This guy has squared off word balloons too. So he's speaking in a different tone, different accent.
I wonder who's handling the lettering on this.
Again, that was it was the same guy through the whole thing.
Right.
I could tell you, I can't remember his name. It's in the first volume though. Remember Archie thanking him.
Yeah, remember you mentioning that, yeah.
Ed King.
Right.
In closing, some thanks should go to letterer Ed King for coping constantly and well with my often wordy dialogue, balloons, and to a long line of Lucasfilm editors. Yeah. Ed King did the lettering on these.
Ed King. Wow. There's great boots as well. Great leather boots.
It's a great shot.
Wow.
Didn't have to finish the corner there.
Yeah. Works though, doesn't it?
It does. Adds to his style. Nice wave here. Little alien looking frog character. Oh, now he's not talking in square boxes. He's talking in regular balloons here. Yeah, didn't toss you in after it, especially since Leia here programmed R2-D2 to dispense a version booby-trapped with a micro-proton charge. Uh-oh, that's terrible. We'll use the real information as bait, flyboy. No one's that reckless, right? Depends on the circumstances, your worship.
It's all a lot lighter, fewer blacks. Yeah.
Now they're in the daylight.
That thing just looks really vacant.
This guy here? He does look a little vacant, doesn't he?
He's been eating his shrooms.
That's putting it nicely.
Like,
yeah. Matthew Gaudette. Sorry if I killed that name, Matthew. Matt, thanks for being here. I love Al Wlliamson. I wish Secret Agent Corrigan would go back into print. Yeah. I was really confused why IDW reprinted Star Wars so small. Thankfully, I had my Russ Cochran printing. Yeah, that's what these are.
Nice.
Matt, yeah. I know they'd been reprinted since then, but nothing matches these hardbacks. They're just beautiful. Russ did amazing. Everything that he reprinted is just amazingly bound. One of these days, real soon, we'll look at some Carl Barks material too. For that, that's a little hard bound here. Just as I said that, I get a little tight on the glue there on this page. Really nice. Especially for a daily. That's a lot of detail.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about the letter tint filling in on the newsprint job.
Well, once you know what it looks like shrunk down, there's a certain dot ratio that you don't go below.
Yeah.
It's like 50, 60%.
Oh, again, there you go. Look at that lovely negative space he's using there.
Yeah. That looks crazy. Look at that. Ships in the air. Night and day compared to the Star Wars comics you see nowadays.
Yeah, just a bit. That's a great bottom panel on the right-hand page, isn't it? Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Look at that.
It's a baton with a little bit of white out to knock the
it's great the way he's not done
shine into it.
The line around the box as well.
Mm-hmm. Here as well.
Oh, wow.
It's great stuff. This is really sweet here too.
Yeah.
Looking for a mushroom.
Hey.
The leaves. Nope, not seeing it. Sorry, PBR. Didn't quite squeeze one in there.
Take a shot anyway.
Take a shot at us.
Look at that.
Mort Drucker. It worked.
Yeah, look at that Princess Leia on the first page. Looks a bit boss-eyed, doesn't she?
Here, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that eye is way off, isn't it? Wow. I'll just do this. It'll look a lot better.
Ah!
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been a late night deadline situation there.
Yeah.
Something went wrong.
She's in the process of winking.
I'll print this. Wow, that whole eye is. Let's not look at that for too long.
Don't look at it.
What a great perspective here, though.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gone. Has he fallen over?
Shot its tower off.
Oh no.
Base control, base control. This is observation post 3. Something's battering my tower's supports. I'm afraid it. Oops.
It's going to eat me.
Great little planet conveniently sitting there.
It's
fantastic.
It's the invisible id monster from Forbidden Planet. That's what it is.
Yeah, something invisible smacking into it. Look at that.
Yeah. Wow. Let's get a party going.
It does. Wow.
Lovely background there. Well, foreground, I should say, just the environment.
Yeah. I think those are those mushrooms right there? I think they are.
Yeah. There's I tell you what, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of
those, yeah.
He may not make the end of the stream.
He just realised, he thought, shit, I've not drawn a mushroom for 14 weeks.
Yeah.
Get him in.
We'll get him liquidated yet. Matt says, and being signed by Al and Archie makes it quite a thing to own. Yes, I always wanted to meet them, and now I can't, but I can enjoy his art from EC onward. I was reading Flash Gordon, Lifelong Vision. Yeah. Yep. I got to meet Archie. He's a great guy. Didn't really share a breakfast with him, but sat next to him during breakfast one time at a show. He's a great guy. It's one of those people, that worked in the industry that you really never heard anything negative about.
I had a conversation with him and he said, what really pisses me off is when people bug me when I'm eating my breakfast.
I'm sure that's what he said too.
Well, I didn't really sit down with him for breakfast. I just sat there while he ate. Well, I didn't really sit there while he ate. I kind of looked at him while he was having a coffee and then he told me to piss off.
No, I was there with some friends. He was sitting, right next to us having lunch. We said hello. That's all we said. That was fine.
You said hello, and he said, I'm eating my breakfast.
No, he said hello back. Respected each other's space. It was all good. I never did get an autograph from him, so this book series is as close as I got. But
this guy's big. If he's throwing Chewbacca about, bloody hell,
it's Brule. He could sort Chewbacca out.
You reckon?
Yeah, he's a wimp in a Chewbacca. He got upset when they handcuffed him to get in that lift, didn't he? The kiss of Wookiee. I can arrange that. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I can arrange that.
I like this thing. Look at it. Lizardy thing. Like it.
He's great, isn't he? I like him, yeah. He's good. Anybody who can show with Chewy about good in my book. Look at it. It's great.
That's the only problem I had with Russ was he stopped before doing Russ Manning's Star Wars. I would have loved an oversized version. Yeah. I've got the Tarzans that IDW reprinted. Those are nice. Great work. We'll have to look at those here on Sunday Funnies. What a great set of books and great stories too.
Great lighting on that page, isn't it? With his
whole thing
on his legs and everything.
Yeah.
The guy when he's holding it there, yeah, and underneath his arms. Really great.
It's all detail work here.
Yeah.
That's a zip screen here, but all of this up here is just all line work. He threw Chewbacca, then he starts running. Starts running towards the boys there. It's shedding our fire like it was shielded. Running off.
Yeah, why'd it run off?
That's a monster.
He's gone off for his breakfast.
They rescue Chewie, though. Wet fur and all. You may get a rematch with the thing that tossed you there. Yeah.
Look at that fantastic lighting on the bottom left panel of R2 and 3PO.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Just amazing.
Because it really look like they're made out of metal, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
It says there was an Empire Strikes Back, but it's super expensive and out of print from Marvel. And I assume IDW. I have no idea. I've got a copy of that in magazine form. Yeah, somewhere. If I find that, we'll definitely be looking at it. I'll try to look for that one of these days. But yeah, it is beautiful.
I love the fact that nobody really talks about layout in these because they're a daily strip. There's only so many things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the panel content.
And you're on such a tight beat as well. You're telling a very compressed story.
Yeah.
Very quickly. Boom, boom. Every panel has to count.
Yeah.
On this.
So it's like, I appreciate well laid out panels and page design, but sometimes I think it gets in the way. And this is just a perfect example of what's in the panel that's most important.
We tuck the balloon back behind this plant, behind this root. That was smart. I like it.
It's a whole different approach, isn't it? Because what is it? There's a formula, isn't there? Generally three panels. The first panel is probably giving you a bit of a preview to what happened. The second panel tells you what's going to happen, and then the third panel moves you into the next strip. Do you understand what I mean? It moves it on.
Yeah, scene at a time.
Yeah, and then then you get two panels, which contradicts that. But it's a different approach. You've got to get information in there immediately, rather than you've not got 2 pages to explain.
I think in so many ways it's the purist approach.
Yeah,
a lot of ways. Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like you notice, obviously when he goes to the Sundays, he gets to play with the panel sizes and mixes them up a bit, and and it's a bit more comic book esque, although that one isn't.
Still, you're very regimented because of the formats that they use. You still have that middle.
If you look to the previous Sunday, he crosses that line.
Yeah, where they're dancing.
Where they're dancing. Yeah, there you go.
That one there.
That one.
Nope.
No, you're on. There you go. There. Yeah. So he's crossed the line there, and there's a little bit more of flow going on between the panels, which I like.
Yeah,
but it's not like Neil Adams' sort of level of mixing the panels up, which was very experimental and wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought sometimes it went a bit too far.
Mm-hmm. But you'll notice on that. Sorry, go on.
And looking back at these strips, you look at these strips, and it's like there's no room to do that kind of stuff. You have to get the story across in the panels. Bang, bang, bang. That's it.
Yeah.
And the level of artwork, the level of storytelling going on is just spectacular.
Yeah. So it really fascinated me about all this, the Starhawk strip that we watched, because that was the size, or that we looked through. That was the size of two daily pages.
Yeah.
Was their regular one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what a lot of people miss is the fact that when you get people like Kirby in the 40s, and then Steranko, and then Neil Adams, who do those fantastic page layouts, almost like designing the page. And I worked with a guy, and he said the first thing he did was design the page. And I said, I think you're going about it the wrong way there. You've got to tell the story.
Yeah.
And what those three artists, Kirby, name me three better artists than Kirby, Steranko, and Adams. They not only experimented with the page design, but still the story was the top.
Was king. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they made it work. And people think that punching out of the panel and breaking the panel and all that is what you do. Well, there's a reason to do that, and they knew that.
Yeah, it's not a random thing.
No.
Look, I love those headers for the Sundays. It's basically just taking scenes out of the films.
Yeah.
And drawing. Well, I love that. I just think it's cracking.
I was going to say, you were saying about when they were dancing them previously on that page. If you look at it, it's still only 3 panels.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the all right, 4 panels with the header part, but it was, it's like I was wondering that one there. It's still basically 3 panels.
3 days.
Your introduction thing, and then that. And I was thinking before, I wonder if Archie Goodwin said to Wlliamson for the introduction panel with the logo, just do what you want.
Yeah, I reckon he did. Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
Just do what you want, and this is the story beneath it. Yeah,
make it Star Warsy.
Yeah,
but I do love that one with
that's from great, isn't it? Yeah.
Episode 1 or Episode 4? Sorry, the first film. That's just cracking.
It's great. I mean, when I see these books that we look at, I always think the lucky people who saw the original artwork in front of them on the desk.
Yeah.
And as I've said to you before many times about Joe Sinnott, losing an hour of his day looking at Kirby's work.
You could imagine just sitting there ogling at this stuff,
just thinking, my God,
look at the two of them there. Look at the negative space on his boots. No outline of the boots, just the folds. Yeah, it's brilliant.
I believe that's Archie right there.
I'm going to say it looks like him, doesn't it?
It does.
Didn't know people wore glasses in the Star Wars universe.
Of course they do.
And again, that top panel there for the Sunday is just great. Just them. Yeah, they're not here. They're just over that. They're out. Bow that. Brow that hill.
That's just after he kicked him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, we're seeing a master of placing spotting blacks, aren't we? Like Wally Wood.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, the spotting of the blacks is incredible.
Knowing what to cover and when. Look at that. The dry brush there on the edge of the background. Sweet. Nice touch. No panel border, no floor here needed. Just
opening it up.
Yep. Leaving it open. More shadows.
Oh, Vinny's been around. Look, Vinny got to ink that middle panel there.
Easy day. Yeah.
You would not believe the detail on the pencils in that panel. Vinny just went, "Oh, sod it."
The lighting here in general, though, look at that bouncing off of his porch there. Just really harsh on purpose. Phenomenal stuff. So much you learn from this, looking at this stuff. That's why we love to look at it. More line work back here. It's just, oh no, I take that. No, it is.
I think it's line.
It looks like lines. Yeah. Has he just? Is that a flare?
I think so.
All right, that's so cool.
some harsh light.
Yeah, I meant in that bottom panel with the silhouette and the details on the left hand side. That one, yeah,
Yeah,
that flare. It's like you can hear it go as he opens, as he cracks the flare. You know, it's just it's just brilliant.
The sizzle.
Yeah.
Nice shadow work here again. A little bit of, is that a lizard? No.
I think it's just a bit of weed, isn't it?
Just a tree. Yep.
But he does do little faces and things, doesn't he? Have you noticed that?
He does. Look at that.
It's a putrid mushroom.
That's fun. That's fun. Yeah. And the monsters back there.
You see, this is what I don't understand. Getting back to what I said before, those called AT-ATs? Those those camel things. Well, they were in Empire, so he must have known what was coming. He must have had some reference for it.
This is he actually did these probably after Jedi come out. It's just that the stories take place between New Hope and Empire.
But you said before it was 1982.
80.
Did have a copyright of 82 on it.
Did it? 82?
Oh yeah, so he would know about AT-ATs because that was 80.
Yeah.
But these were supposed to be
right before Jedi then was coming out.
So let me just get this right in my head. So they've seen reference, probably been given reference of Star Wars and Empire, which is why those AT-ATs are in it.
Yeah.
And they're writing it in sort of 81, 82, 83 before Return of the Jedi. But the story is set after Star Wars, before Empire.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
In a safe pocket that he's not bumping into the next movie.
Yeah.
And this would have been the first two films would have proven their success.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the first one was big, but you know, where does it go from here? The second one was massive.
Yeah.
And you know that there's a third one coming. The third one was in 82? 83. So 83, this would have been the thing, wouldn't it? Like in around sort of 81, 82.
Right.
You know, after the second film was done fantastically, it's like, well, shall we run this in the paper? Shall we do a daily strip? Oh yeah. Okay, there's money in that, and they just off they went.
Yeah. Wow.
I have no doubt that if papers were the thing now, which they're not, you'd probably have had another one. You know, Disney might have invested in getting another strip. If strips with daily strips were the thing they were back in the day, then they would have done it again. But because papers just aren't the thing that they were, and daily strips aren't they just don't have any what's the word for it?
Really,
they don't get out to the masses. They don't have an audience. They don't
reach.
There's no reach. Exactly. There's no reach with any of it, so there's no point in investing in it.
Did they produce any Indiana Jones strips? Anyone?
Not that I'm aware of.
They did. They just did the adaptation, didn't they? Marvel did an adaptation. Yeah. Was that Buscema?
I don't know.
Buscema did a few adaptations, didn't he?
They did adaptations, I think, of the first two movies, but they had a comic running at one point, an Indiana Jones comic.
Did they? Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay.
I couldn't tell you who did the artwork in it. I do remember it not being very good.
But they didn't do a newspaper strip?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
No.
At this point, here in the early 80s, the adventure strip was really starting to go out.
Yeah.
I think the last full adventure strip we had around here was Alley Oop, that ran in the Flint paper and had a continuing story because they were jumping Alley Oop through time. And then Modesty Blaze was in the Detroit Free Press.
Mm.
But other than Valiant coming out on a regular basis. Yeah, and what else? Dick Tracy was also coming out. But the adventure strip was really dying out at this point. The humor strip was really picking up. Peanuts in BC and Garfield was starting to rage around this time.
Was Calvin and Hobbes going at this time?
A little later. If I remember Calvin and Hobbes, that was 90s.
Yeah, it was at 85 to 95.
85 to 95. Yeah, it was a little later than this.
Because he dropped out, didn't he?
Waterside. Yeah.
Waterson he just finished it, didn't he?
Well, you get to a point where you weigh how much money you're making compared to how much hassle you're getting from the editors and
Yeah, but
from the individual newspapers. So you just decide it's not worth it and just retire.
He turned down millions on his merchandising, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I think he was.
Conscious effort.
I think Watson was in. I think it was 2,500 newspapers every day. So he must have got at least $1 per, mustn't he?
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but I know it was more than enough for him to retire. He sat back and I think he's done a bunch of children's books since then and hasn't.
Well, that's why they
doesn't have the notoriety that Calvin and Hobbes has, but he's been living off of the collections too.
Of course.
Yeah. So
that's why the Spider-Man strip was so good when Stan Lee and John Romita did it. I mean, that was in every newspaper around the world, and they must, like I said, they must have got $1 for each paper, and I'm sure it was a lot more than that. So they must have made a fortune on that.
Yeah.
Made out good, yeah, I would say. All right. I'm not sure if it was a full $1 per paper, but a lot of that little money adds up into big money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Raiders of the Lost Ark movie special. Was writer Walt Simonson, and the penciler was John Buscema, and the inker was Klaus Janson.
Oh, there you go.
I've never seen that, but that's good.
That's the movie.
The movie adaptation, yeah.
That's not the adventures, the further adventures of Indiana Jones.
Is that available?
I don't know.
Might be on eBay.
I'm not sure if I have a copy of that or not. I need to go through my magazines and see what I've got and what I don't have.
I can't see who.
So a lot of that stuff I bought and traded over the years.
The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, but it doesn't tell you who did it.
Matt says, let's see here. I'm getting behind. HR says Shadow Plays. HR in the house. Thanks for being here. Krinkle. Yep. Good artist. Fleagle Gang. Beagle Boys. Is that who you were thinking of? When he did Empire Strikes Back, he had been given reference photos with a slash in them with an X-Acto knife in black and white of the Walker. No film was shown. He had to work from very little. I remember reading the Empire Strikes Back adaptation and finding out how the movie ended.
Great,
because it came out before the movie came out.
There you go, Leo's on it.
So that was so much fun to stand in the theater and watch as the Han had already been frozen and Luke was being pulled out of the Baptist tank, and they're there watching the Millennium Falcon fly off, and the music starts gathering up and that's when it ends, and the credits rolling. Everybody's screaming in the theater. I'll never forget that. They were so pissed that the Empire ended where it did. Marvel had a full series for Indy. Brett Blevins adapted the third movie. Terry Gamble, Ron Friends, John Byrne, and more contributed to the regular series. Oh, might have been better than I remembered then. Request for future episodes: Esteban Maroto, Jose Garcia Lopez, Dave Gibbons, Cam Kennedy. Yes. Thank you for this phenomenal YouTube channel. Thank you, Deckard.
We've done some Dave Gibbons. Did
Watchmen for 3 years, didn't we?
For 3 years, yeah.
3 months. Yeah,
did
3
Cam
solid
Kennedy?
months. Yep. Cam Kennedy. We did some Slain, didn't we? That had him in it. Yep.
It's always worth bringing it back, doing some more.
Oh yeah. Esteban Maroto. I've got the set of Vampirellas digitally.
I think we need to do the Cam Kennedy Rogue Trooper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Got a lot of that stuff.
And maybe some Ron Smith Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah, Ron Smith.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I always remember there was one particular episode he did where this guy was turning into a lizard. And it was just of Judge Dredd. It was just fabulous stuff.
I remember a 3-part story he did where they were in the wastelands. They were defending a compound from a legion of invading spiders. That was just amazing. That Ron did the artwork for. Just fantastic stuff.
I just remember it was really current. It used to have George Michael block and stuff like that. And there was, and, I think we said this before. You might not know this guy, Randy. Tariq Ali. He's like an activist kind of guy from the 70s.
Okay.
And they had Judge Dredd chasing someone. He said, "The perp's gone down Tariq Ali Alley." Just stuff like that. Just south of George Michael block, you know.
Just the best.
Monster here.
Oh, he's turned into a mushroom. Look.
No shrooms I can see.
Shrooms. Oh, look at the. Oh.
No, here we are.
Look at this.
Look at that hand reaching on that first page there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Him
and look
swinging that lightsaber about.
Look at 3PO's head on the very, very first panel on the left.
Yeah.
It's really metal. You know what I mean?
D2, R2D2, yeah.
Sorry,
D2.
Sorry, yeah.
Robots. They're robots. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Let's call them droids. Yeah.
Droid, the little one.
Yep.
The last stand of Luke Skywalker. Except we know it isn't because it's in between the two films.
Yeah. Jose Garcia Lopez requested by Decker there.
I mean,
I've got the Atari Force somewhere. All of the original Atari Force comics. Should sit through those. Those were great stuff. Just phenomenal work from him.
Giant of the industry. That man is just so bloody good.
Really want to do Jim Aparo too, because I am just enamored by his work.
He doesn't get much love, does he? Really?
No, but I love his work.
Very underrated. Yeah.
As a kid, every Brave and the Bold that he did, I thought was just amazing, and they had some pretty good written stories as well. And it was all Batman and somebody team ups.
And we should also try and get to look at some Swanderson artwork, shouldn't we?
Ooh.
Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson. Nothing better than that, you know. It's just fantastic.
I've got the Legion. I got the first 3, I think, Legion omnibuses. That's all Swan. A lot of that is Swan. I don't think Anderson might have inked a lot of it. Not all of it though. Just trying to think of what else. I got some the old 20 center Superman stories right in the middle of his run on it. Look at those. I was thinking, because I keep running across these reels of the origin of the X-Men, digging up the old John Byrne, original John Byrne, Austin Cockrum X-Men, and taking a look at it.
We looked at that X-Men, didn't we? That Byrne,
the Elsewind, that Byrne did. Yeah,
absolutely. Is he still doing that?
No, he stopped that a while back.
Right. That's amazing.
As far as I know, I think there's enough for like 6 volumes of that, and I only got 2. Just some crazy amount of work that nobody's ever going to see unless they go up to John Byrne's website, and he still has it posted.
Wow.
Here, and Disney has not reprinted Indiana Jones, Marvel, or Dark Horse under their Marvel Epic Collection imprint. I asked why and never received an answer. I'm sure it doesn't help. Dial of Destiny flopped. Yeah, that's true. Mary Perkins on stage. Leonard Starr, Friday Foster, Longeron, I've never heard of. Sorry, HR. But Leonard Starr, I've got a couple of Kelly Greens. Mary Perkins, I don't think I have anything of. But Leonard Starr, I've got a couple of Kelly Green collections that are just amazing. Anyone remember the original name for Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Jedi? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some Vampirellas. Yeah, we would. Go ahead.
I'm going to say that Revenge of the Jedi is the poster you want to own, isn't it? That were pulled.
Wife had one for a while. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, do some Vampirellas. We have to be careful about Vampirella because YouTube is touchy about nudity.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
do
if
them
that
in
poster
a
was signed, Glenn, as well?
Yeah, can you imagine that? Dear God.
I've got the first 10 issues of Planet of the Apes.
Right.
We could do
Is
that.
that shaking?
No, it's
Oh.
Plug did a lot of that. Mike Plug
Yeah,
started
I can't
it.
remember exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is Mike Plug the guy who got hit by a car or something?
No, that was Bill Mantlo that you're thinking of. Got hit by a bus.
Right.
He's
Didn't
a
Plug
writer.
do a lot of
Mantlo created Rocket Raccoon and wrote Micronauts, did a lot of writing. You were saying, Russ?
Didn't Plug do a lot of Man Thing?
Yes. He did a lot of the horror books, the early Frankenstein, Werewolf, Ghost Rider that he did. He was right in that era. Yeah. Great style. He ended up doing a lot of the pre-production work for Bashki's Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh, really?
And did some production work for Wizards.
Cool.
As well. Yeah. Has a big couple of segments in Heavy Metal movie too that he did some production work on. Great artist. Love his comic work. Just such a unique style to his stuff. Should find the Weird Worlds. I've got those around. I think we looked at the first Weird World that Plug did, but I've got all the Warriors of the Shadow Realm too that John Buscema drew. That was hardcore fantasy, right as Lord of the Rings was out. That somebody went over and painted over top of Buscema's work. It's really great looking stuff. Real pretty.
Do you know what's really good about Al Wlliamson I've noticed on this strip is that he doesn't draw, I don't know whether I can say this, he doesn't draw the women overly big, does he? They're not all double D, you know, he draws normal size women.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're a good 5-6 years before the circle template era of Image anyway.
Yeah.
But not that Al would ever draw like that.
No, I mean, look at that.
Always draws a lot more realistic.
Yeah, if you look at that first page, the second panel, look at the folds on her jumper. You know what I mean? It's not
even here.
Yeah,
side. Yeah.
Just great observation.
Mm-hmm.
And then underneath it, look at how metallic those two guys are there, 3PO and R2. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah,
you can tell that Han's got his leather jacket on, and he hasn't. He's got his metal on.
Yeah, HR says Plug's Planet of the Apes. Yep, again, more classic stuff. I'd like to get a hold of some of the Australian later Planet of the Apes because they were in Australia. Planet of the Apes was big, and they took a bunch of the Killraven comics and turn the Martians into apes.
Gotta love an ape.
Same story, just apes instead of Martians. Yeah.
Bananas. Gotta like bananas. Yeah, I'm just looking here. I've got the first issue was Shaking, I think. Plug came on later.
Of what?
Planet of the Apes.
The magazine Planet of the Apes was, I believe, was Plug right at the start.
No, so I'm saying there's two. There's Planet of the Apes, the magazine.
Okay.
And there's Planet of the Apes weekly, or it was weekly for a while, and then it went monthly. I've got the UK reprints of those.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and that
UK
looks like Shaking. Yeah.
Okay.
But I've also got the Planet of the Apes magazine, and that's Plug straight off the bat. Yeah.
He did the first at least half dozen to 6 to 8 issues of that.
He
did a lot of work. Nice body of work with that.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on, and he's using a wash as well on it. It's not like his Man-Thing stuff.
Yeah, more stuff to find.
It's looser and quite vibrant.
Yeah, all of his stuff is crazy good, very stylized.
Yeah.
This alien guy likes throwing things around, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's about all he can do.
What's he mad about?
Would that make him a tosser?
Oh no, it's got down in George Tusker
George Tusker.
and Mike Esposito
Wow.
seem to have done a lot as well. So
A lot of what?
the apes
Planet of the
were-
Apes? Yeah.
Yeah,
They ran the floppy for a while.
it's amazing how
regular
much
comic.
this has got graduate, well, not grads, like wash work on it.
That's
know-
the black and white material. They
Yeah,
used a lot of that. Yeah.
There's no wonder a lot of these guys go unnamed, because Mike Esposito, he wasn't he Jim Mooney when he was inking Spider-Man, because I'm sure it was him. He was over at DC and he was moonlighting for Marvel, inking John Romita Sr. and then took over the strip.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So if you're looking for Mike Esposito, go and check out 50 issues of Spider-Man in 1968, because it's Jim Mooney.
You're saying
Brilliant.
Esposito and Mooney were the same person?
I think it's that's the one, yeah. But there was certainly,
Wow.
I'd have to you check it out, but I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. That's pretty
But I'm
crazy.
probably wrong, you know.
I remember both of them doing a lot of work.
Well, it's the same with Gene Colan. Was Adam Austin at Marvel, wasn't he, to start with? Like, nobody noticed Gene Colan's style.
That didn't stay
No.
for very long though.
No,
Adam Austin.
yeah,
Adam
Adam
Austin.
Austin. Like, ooh, he doesn't look like Gene Colan. As soon as you saw it, you thought, oh wow, Gene Colan's doing Daredevil. Oh no, it's Adam Austin.
Very, very distinguished style. You can't get away from Gene Colan.
Well, he went by Eugene at first, didn't he? And then
Yeah, that
went
too.
Eugene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
the ECs, he's Eugene Colan. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. I think I love comics
Matthew
just a little bit
says-
too much.
Al was a very good inker. I collected some of the books he inked and didn't pencil, like Amazing Spider Girl. Yeah. Marvel Planet of the Apes. Yes, please. Not the modern Apes comics, though. Gotcha. Yep, I
Not
agree.
the modern anything.
They all have to dig those up and see what I've got. HR gets a little blast there. Marv says it'll be okay if Vampirella does a breast pump tutorial. Yeah. I blame Vampirella for the rise in cosplay at comic shop or comic shows, because Harris, between Vampirella and Red Sonja, those were the two big characters that started cosplay up running. I know Wendy Penny used to do the New York show dressed as Red Sonja.
Yeah. She did.
And Harris used to take a Vampirella around. She was quite the attraction at the show, because everybody would go by and go, how does that stay together? You know? How do you get that to stick like that? Anyway, Alcala did some Planet of the Apes too. I think, yeah, I'm sure you're right, HR. Matt says Al Wlliamson Blade Runners, fantastic as well. And the 1980 Flash Gordon, which he found impossible to do because the script kept changing. Oh, you don't have to do Ming's transformation. We cut it. Yeah. we went through the Flash Gordon adaptation about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, Matthew. We're archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. It's Red Sonja, Robert E. Howard character owned by the Howard estate, but based off of one of Howard's short stories. Yeah, only it was Sonja instead of Sonja. Yep, that's Roy Thomas kind of took that character and put her into Conan's universe and ran from there. But I believe it's either the Howard estate or there's an independent Red Sonja Enterprises that control that character. They're pretty litigious about their trademarks. Gene Colan is on frightening level on his own. Absolutely. You get scared when you look at his art. I don't know no one that does it. No one comes
best-
close to it. He had his own super unique style. That's the thing.
The best Gene Colan artwork I've seen is the Nathaniel Dusk, where it's just off his pencils, and he does a coloured wash on his pencils.
Oof.
Yeah.
I think it was a 4-issue miniseries in about 1986.
4 or 12, one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, is it 12? Anyway, whatever it is,
Might have been 12.
it's off his pencils.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely superb.
Inking wise, though, Tom Palmer was about the only inker that could handle him correctly. That is,
Yeah,
he did such a long run on Tomb of Dracula that it's really iconic.
Great
yeah. I always remember as a kid when Gene Colan was doing Daredevil, and I think it was Frank Giacoia was inking it, and even then I thought this isn't the right inker for this man.
Mm-hmm.
He's too fluid. His pencils are too fluid for the rigid inking of somebody like Giacoia, and that's why Tom Palmer's so good, because to me he's a bit looser.
Such an amazing mesh of styles, because Palmer is really an overpowering inker.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who's on it or what. It takes somebody doing powerful pencils like that for their style to come through when Palmer's inking.
Thinking about it, I'm thinking of Klaus Janson on Gene Colan.
Mm-hmm.
That's very loose. He's a good inker on that. I'm just going to say, look at Han. He's got his tablet there.
Yeah.
20 years before tablets. Yeah.
It's going to take some swallowing, that.
Yeah. Klaus Janson, I think, is an underrated inker as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Very much so. I saw him on a Marvel 2-in-1 number 10 that I was really impressed with as a kid. He inked over Bob Brown, and I never much cared for Bob Brown, but Bob Brown and Klaus Janson together was just amazing. It's a great artwork on that. It was Thing and Black Widow. It's a story, and the cover's got Thing pulling up a big mine-looking bomb with a rope on the cover.
The best Thing story for me was the Barry Smith one, and with the torch, when the torch sticks all those little straws on his face, and he thinks he's growing a beard. Have you seen that?
No,
you've not seen that.
That's funny though.
He's asleep, and Johnny Storm comes in and he cuts up these straws and he sticks all the tubes so they're about half an inch long, and he sticks it on his face like he's got a beard. And he wakes up and he thinks he's mutating, so he rings Reed, and he's got all this thing. And he finds out that it's Johnny Storm, so he goes after to batter in.
What a revolting development!
Yeah, really.
It's really good, but it's written and drawn by Barry Smith. It's really good.
So Matthew says Alcala did star Han Solo at Star's End. Yeah, yep, like that. Another explosion. Aha. Colan drew the best Black Widow of all time. Oh yeah. Did real sensual women. It's great stuff.
That big guy there running. Look at that center panel, the last panel where he's running. It reminds me of that the monster. Yeah, the monster reminds me of a Ditko kind of monster.
Yeah.
See that center panel with 3PO and R2? I think that's a photographic reference.
Probably.
But it's fantastic the way he's done it.
Sure, he leaned back on that as much as he could, but a lot of this he's got to do up on his own.
Yeah.
So great.
I'm not saying he's traced it. I'm saying I think it's just the pose of it. It's fantastic.
Why is he standing by him now? Is he his mate now?
I don't know. Wants to marry him.
I don't know.
You're my wife now.
Fishman. You're my wife now.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
This is the hair, those eyes and curves, beautiful. Yep.
Yep.
Is that Marvel Fanfare 15 with Thing's beard prank? Could be.
I think it is. Yeah, it's certainly Marvel Fanfare 15 sounds about right. Look at that. Wow.
Look at that. It's nice. He's a lot more tame, that monster dude. Yeah.
He's calmed down. He's not. He's done cold turkey on his shrooms.
Yeah, he must have had lunch. That's what it is. Another nice bit of space, like the little cosmic dust he's got there. Yeah, those are always fun.
Yeah.
Great touch. That's his calling card too, just like those spotted mushrooms. Great work.
I think somebody's had a word with him about that because we've not seen one yet, have we?
He hasn't put him back out in the jungle yet. He's probably aching to draw them mushrooms again at this point.
Oh, Lando.
Tight shot of
Look at that. Wow.
Vader. A little bit of zip in just the right places. Yeah. And puffy trees don't count. There's mushrooms right there. Right, there you go.
I think he just sneaks them in, you know.
I'm sure he does. He goes, someday this will be a drinking game. Yeah. Great Lando, though.
Yeah.
Size reference there. Sweet.
Was it Empire that the Darth Vader's ship was in? Because at the beginning of the first one, we see how big it is, chasing them, don't we? And then
Pretty sure it was. Yeah.
And then we see his.
Yeah.
And his is like 16 times bigger.
Yeah.
So the Super Star Destroyer was in the second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set in
Empire.
Empire Strikes Back, and you
Yeah.
see it first over Hoth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Or before Hoth. They're on their way to Hoth.
Must be thousands of miles long.
Yeah.
It's a big bastard. Yeah.
Sit back here.
Again, lovely negative space there with the strike through there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This is so good. Are they kind of suggesting that's Obi-Wan wandering around in that?
No, that's that character from before.
In with the ears.
Yeah.
Oh, is he the guy with the ears? So he's a Sith, is he? Or
Pretty sure it's that. I don't know if it's the
Oh
same.
no!
guy
If you
that-
go back, he's telling you that it's Ben Kenobi.
yeah,
He's
is
telling
it?
you, you're right. There
Yeah.
he says, some call me Ben Kenobi, so you're right.
Oh,
so
okay,
either
yeah.
he's impersonating because you never
okay.
see his face. So
Yeah.
either someone's impersonating him, or he's you know
But he will
doing
be
his
dead at
Force
this
ghost thing. Yeah, dead. Yeah, yeah.
right.
After the
He's-
first one, isn't he?
He's got to be faking it.
It's either a Force ghost or he's somebody pretending to be Ben Kenobi.
I don't think a Force ghost can kill people.
Is that canon? Is it?
Well, he says
think so.
he says that man's wounded. He said, if you think it's Ben Kenobi, it must be a delusion. He said, what if it isn't? What if it's true?
Ah,
So he's supposed to be dead at this point. And
Yeah.
he might be.
so he obviously isn't him. He's pretending to be him.
Right.
Don't give it away.
Afternoon.
Spoilers.
They have ships on a game called Star Citizen that are as big as the destroyers. They cost around £2,000 or 2,000 quid to buy in real money.
Wow.
That's cheap,
In a
mate. I want
game.
a Star Destroyer, mate.
PBR says mushroom count sitting at 7, feeling pretty good. My roommate is growing concerned. Me sitting in front of the computer looking at comics with a bottle of scotch, yelling, "Come on, mushrooms!" There we are, PBR. Happy to help.
Come on, the mushrooms.
Ta-da.
swinging lightsaber and calling himself Ben Kenobi. Uh-oh.
Look at that girl at the bottom left there. Is that supposed to be Princess Leia?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Looks like
Yeah,
Modesty Blaze.
it does, doesn't it? Just tight
Where's
line work there.
Where's her
Yeah.
earphones gone on her hair?
She tied it back behind her this time.
Right,
It's
good.
got one large cinnamon bun behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About time.
Getting fed up with people grabbing them.
Kind of missed there. You can still tell who it is, though. Yeah, she's it got a little hard for her to hear after a while. Angelo Torres is very similar to Al Wlliamson. Yeah. Yep. I think Torres and Wlliamson had to work together on a bit of stuff. I couldn't tell you what, though. I seem to remember them working together.
You probably find out that they're both the same person.
Maybe.
like Jim Mooney and Esposito.
Torres could have been an apprentice, as far as I know, for as much as I know. Like the striped bathrobe there.
Yeah.
Damn it, I was just taking a shower. When we find them, but get down.
Nothing like standing out on a desert planet, is it?
They should.
Look at my stripes.
Man.
No, I was wrong. Mike Esposito isn't Jim Mooney. Mike Esposito is Nicky Demio. He in a lot of Romita's Spider-Man. Sorry, Jim.
So I remember Mooney.
Sorry, Jim, you are a real person.
Mooney,
Yeah,
I think,
that's great.
had a huge run on Ghost Rider and on Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, for years.
Remember, folks, don't believe anything I say because I always get it wrong.
Really is, Ben.
Bloody hell.
It is. It is. Ben.
Just in time for them to get into their flying ship with wheels.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Not impressed with that one.
It's multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Nice shot. You know what I want to draw? Damn it, I want to draw a Viking ship. Come on. Write it in, Archie. Do it. Okay. Look at that. Boom. Gotta love that.
See, there you go, look. The youth was made contact, my lord. All is proceeding according to your plan. It isn't really Ben at all. Clone.
Oh no.
Back of the
What are
clan.
we gonna do?
We knew it couldn't be him anyway, because we saw him dissolved in New Hope.
Oh no. Unless Obi-Wan's fooling Darth Vader. He's a double agent.
I think that might be a step too far.
I don't think back then Lucasfilm would let him get away with that. Nowadays, whole different story. As long as they were
Canon? What does that mean? Sod it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do what we like.
They'd let that happen as long as the two of them were gay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Only
What the hell?
He calls him actor. Then I'll see you both soon, actor.
There you go.
Iron Tower.
Do you mind? That's actor to you.
Sorry, actor. yeah, but he's a Yank, isn't he, Darth Vader? He wouldn't say that.
It's a Yank.
I'm busy
I am a Shakespearean actor.
Now I have to get back to my Viking ship on wheels.
Yeah.
Well, it's not
Because
quite a
I
Viking
hate
ship.
looking-
Our little
I hate looking
scallop
ridiculous.
pirate ship on wheels.
Look at him laying down there. Really. And again, lots of the white in the little bits of fire and oh
Yeah. Still little touches of zip in that too.
yeah.
Just to gray it in. Negative space here. Just
Yeah.
don't need to show that line. Ben.
There's Mushroom Head. Thinking he's an Arab.
Oh yeah, Mushroom Head. Is that guy yeah, the guy next to him? It's just funny. Those two little guys, the Mushroom Head one and the one with a little Arab thing on with a headscarf and
And he's talking to him, but he's not. They don't put what he's saying.
No, they're like they're talking like they're doing a bar.
It's not important. It's just bar talk.
Is it really you? No,
it's not.
Not really. No.
Suck on it.
He's got a sniper on him.
Yeah.
He does. And this guy here, I'm not sure what he's doing, but that leg looks mighty suspicious.
Galactic internet porn.
Person there, yeah. Almost the wrong version of Star Wars. That would have been Star Horrors.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There is one of those out, apparently.
There is. Yes, there is. Yep.
It's
been out since the 80s. It's available on VHS.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it? That the way they put that shield up. That's really clever. That.
I activated the micro energy shield provided by the Imperial technicians under Lord Vader's orders.
Just to let you know.
Yeah. Word balloon or thought balloon, so handy. Victory for Lord Vader and Imperial technology.
Matt Black Gaming.
Not a mushroom. Just a dinosaur.
Not a mushroom.
Not a mushroom.
Look, they're quite quick dinosaurs as well. But look at them. Look at them running.
They are. Look at them.
Look at them go.
Not nearly as fast as Dalmatians, though.
With suits of armor on.
No atomic knights for them. And they were hauling guys in suits of armor, too. So
yeah.
Matt Black, Henry Winkler was going to play Obi-Wan, but Lucas dropped him for Alec Guinness because every time Henry won a lightsaber fight, he'd finish off saying, "Hey.
Hey. Use the Force, Luke." Don't touch the hair. Again, marvelous spotted blacks.
Lizard power. Yeah. Nice floating. Little snake there. Nice little touches. Oh, man. Bend on that anatomy. That's nice too. Very nice. All that detail just overrun by Zipatone there. Once it gets shrunk down, it'll probably disappear.
I think that's what's most impressive about the strip as a whole is the ancillary detail that he puts in. Just little bits and pieces, and you just think you didn't have to put that in. This is a daily strip. You didn't have to do that. It's just a real dedication to it.
Matt says Mike's gone really low. I might have had my face turned away from it. Matt, am I doing better now?
I
Mic
can
sound
hear
all
you.
right now? Everything okay? I'll try to talk louder when I'm facing away from it.
We're getting close to the end now.
Yeah, we are. We'll stop at the end of this story.
Oh, you can love the way you tell Darth Vader's. He's got his hand clenched there. Oh,
He's going to betray him.
I'm gonna get you, Skywalker. Oh.
If that actor has let anything happen to Skywalker before I get my hands on him,
I think the actor's going to turn good.
Oh.
that's good. Thanks,
Be
man.
touched.
And then he's going to die.
Yeah, be touched
Yeah.
by Ben and then die, thwarting Lord Vader.
Oh, lovely likeness there.
Nice
Top
use
right.
of 2 tiers here.
Yeah. Again, able to play with the frames there.
Yeah. Al's environments is always top notch. Yep.
Mm.
That's a nice shot of Vader walking behind that pipe thing, isn't it? That black tee on the
Looking down from above.
Yeah, isn't that great? That
It's solid
Just
too.
doing things like that just give depth
Yeah.
rather than just seeing him walking. You're looking through the mechanics of what's going on there.
Besides, Wlliamson probably saw the script and said, "Man, that's a lot of lettering. I have to do something with Vader on that one." A little bit of zip in front of it.
I think it would be great at the end of this if Luke cut the guy in half and said, "I knew all along, you bastard," and that's what you get.
Yeah. No.
Too strong, dark.
Reactors. Suspicions grow. Call to him. Tell him you're hurt. No.
Okay.
Overload occurring. Iron towers, generators until boom.
Oh, he's made a mistake.
You're right. I wouldn't be here otherwise, Ben. Surely you've realized I'm not your old mentor, just an imposter who came to love the part. Only hope I played it well.
Blah.
In the distance, Luke's ship appears, summoned by the men who now grow silent and still. Oh, the man.
He's lost him twice now, hasn't he? Ogre.
Your signal reached me, Master Luke. The autopilot did the rest. Last gift from this man. Last gift from this man. 3PO. And a final disappointment for Darth Vader if he still survives. Next month, the power gem. Or next Monday, I should say.
That's it. We should leave it there.
We should. Yeah. We should and we shall.
Oh, it's a trench run on that top one.
Yeah. Marking it there, folks. Next week, the power gem.
Yeah. Fantastic book. Look at that.
Star Wars. The comic strip, folks. we'll look more at it next week.
Cool.
About halfway. Yeah, about halfway through that volume. Oh, good. One more after this one. That's it for this week, folks. We really appreciate you stopping by. Whenever you caught this program, we know the majority of our viewership comes in after the fact, and we deeply appreciate you. Whenever you watch us, leave a like or any type of recognition there at whatever platform you're watching us on, just to help our algorithms. That's all we ask. Please do that.
Yes.
For us. Any type of comment or interaction you have wherever you're watching this just goes to help the algorithm get out there in front of more eyes. And if you know somebody that might enjoy this program as much as we do, bringing it to you, don't be afraid to let them know and get more eyes on this. We do this twice a week. Every Friday morning at 5 a.m. for Comics by Night, and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for Sunday Funnies. On Comics by Night, we look at more classic comics by the great masters, and on Sunday we usually look at the more unusual things, comic strips, trading cards, that kind of thing, that also in the art form and the genre that we love, like this fantastic Star Wars comic strip, daily and Sunday strip. We appreciate you stopping by. Marvi says, great to be here. I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful week. Be safe. You too, Marvi. Everybody else, the same. Take care of yourself. Russ, please let folks know how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at russleach.com. Check out the email list there so you can pick up a copy of this. Atlantean 2, this issue 2. It's all lovely, black and white, 50 pages of the further adventures of Cull and Brawl as written by Randy. Issue 3 is in production right now. So to find out all about that, just go to russleach.com and sign up for the email list there.
Absolutely. Glenn, let folks know how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Fund My Comic, and you can find me on Amazon. Otherwise, just put my name in Google and lots of things come up, and you can have a look around stuff I do. I'm working on a website at the moment, so maybe you'll be able to get to me there when that's launched. But yeah, just mainly go to Amazon. All my books are on there, and Fund My Comic, and you can find Hatch on that platform.
Great. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman, Arrow Comics. You can find me at anywhere books are sold. Look for the Atlantean. The Atlantean 2 is not quite up there yet, but Volume 1 is, as well as the Shadow Kingdom. There's a great, fantastic version of the Shadow Kingdom in hardback. I can't recommend to you highly enough. That has the entire Shadow Kingdom story in color, as opposed to the black and white volumes, as well as the written story by Robert E. Howard in the back of the book, so that you can compare the actual story with the adaptation. We are that proud of it and its adaptation. I like to think it's the closest anyone is ever going to get to faithfully adapting that story, and it's really deserves that kind of love and attention. So we hope that you get a copy of that book and that you get a chance to compare our adaptation to the actual story, and that you're as entertained by it as we are bringing it to you. Thanks again for stopping by. We're archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. Go over there and take a look. We've covered a wide variety of stuff in the past. We got some great recommendations today that we'll definitely be looking at for future shows. And we just love doing this, folks. We're not paid to do it. We're not monetized by any stretch. Indie Comics Network isn't even monetized, but we love doing it because we're inspired by it. It's our community, our art form of choice. And what a great art form sequential art is, and has a rich history and plenty of masters and masterful work from all over the world. And we love looking at this stuff and bringing it to you. And we hope you love looking at it as much as we love bringing it to you. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. But go visit your local retailer. Take a look at that local retailer's magazine boxes, because you're going to find some great old black and white magazines that I think very few people are really underappreciated.
Like
Eerie
this.
and Creepies and Vampirillas, Planet of the Apes, Dracula Lives, Where Monsters Dwell. There's all sorts of fantastic stuff out there from multiple decades. And believe it or not, the majority of that stuff is evergreen and holds up incredibly well and is super entertaining material.
Bit of Plug.
Vampirilla's old Warren magazines. Friday mornings we cover. We're currently looking at the run of Weird Science from EC. So if you enjoy Wally Wood, if you like great science fiction comics, this is the one that started it all. And we look at that on Friday mornings when StreamYard allows us. And we will be back this Friday. Again, as long as nothing glitches, we'll be all good. Folks, do take care of yourselves. Try to be social on those social platforms. There's too much trolling and negativity going on, too much BS drama that nobody needs. If you love comics, tell people you love comics. If there's comics out there that you remember reading that you might have had in your collection for months, just gathering dust, and you need some entertainment, you need some escapism to get away from the BS of the world, go take a look at comics and lose yourself again. Remind yourself why this art form is so much fun. And again, we'll see you on the next one. We deeply appreciate you stopping by. Take care, everyone.
See you.
We'll see you soon. Oh, we have a word of the day here.
The word of the day is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm tired of dealing with bullshit and moods that are atrocious. If I don't protect myself, it will lead to psychosis. So supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
Absolutely. Not that one, this one.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste